Hey, this is Chris with Canvas Hardware, and on this video we're going to discuss built-in screens versus installed screens. So if you know anything about our history, you'll see that the OG flower pot was 100% machined. All these holes are individually machined, top and bottom. Okay, so this was a concept that we adapted very early on, back in 2016 when this head was made. This is a 16 millimeter version of the OG flower pot. As the years went by and we evolved our product, we came out with the V-Rod, which also featured 100% machined diffusers like this. But once the ball revolution kind of hit, our instinct told us to just simply remove this material in here and hollow it out so we can fit in balls, right? And leave a machined screen, which led us to something like this. Hope you can see that clearly. So you can stuff this with balls, and the ball miracle kind of happened in there. So we came across a couple of issues with this design. Okay, the design is, or the issues were that you could not stuff or put any ruby pearls that were less than 4 millimeters in here. And the reason is because anything smaller than that would simply clog up those holes, and it would mess with your airflow. So a lot of customers made us aware of that, and it was basically a compromise to the original design. Additionally to that, the mass that's left over here in between the holes created some extra restriction that was really not desirable. Okay, so we did away with that. It was kind of the same concept when we first came up with the B0. We tried to do that again, and we machined holes. As you can see, there's more holes and they're smaller, but they would still get clogged up. Even though it was not ideal, the location of the screen was not ideal, the holes still were clogged up by smaller balls. Okay? So at that point, we decided to carefully remove the screen, the machine screen, right, and carefully engineer and include some grooves on the inside of these devices that would allow for screens. Okay, so this diffuser has a carefully machined screen in here, and then the injector diffusers have a carefully machined screen groove inside for the screens. This one does as well, right? And it's no different for the B0. Okay, so as a matter of fact, these grooves are so well engineered that it's really tough to get the screens out. It's so tough to move the screens out of this that no one of these leaves the factory without them being installed. And I'll show you how we do that. We made a couple of jigs like this, okay, that kind of show. This jig is part of the process of installation for the B0 and the injector diffusers. So I'll show you how it's done and how we check them so that they're secure in there, right? So we start like this, and screen. Do that a little bit. Once it's inside, and then we flip it over, and at that height it should hit the groove. At that point, you see that the test is that it spins freely when applying pressure to the screen. So now you have the screen in there. Now you can really try to push this through, and it just won't budge. It just won't budge. So the engineering behind this is Of course, safety is one of the considerations for this design of the groove in our devices. Additionally to that, I'd like to address the screens themselves. We have a long history with these screens. These are not just your run-of-the-mill Beamer screens. No offense to Beamer, but these are some heavy-duty double weave, um, large gauge screens that are made in the U.S. with certified materials as well. We put a lot of confidence in these screens and have for many years, and we have a really great relationship with our suppliers and which are the manufacturers, right? So these have played an integral role in our devices for years now, and will continue to hopefully do so. These were actually the solution that we found to the machine screens. These provide the best airflow and the best versatility because it allows you to use any size ball in your device. Okay? So that's the message that we want to get across. Some other devices that are out there, I mean, those are probably the ones that you should keep your eyes out for. Um, you know, we're all for DIY around here, but some of these devices are just, these are not safe. Okay? These devices are not safe. This one has nowhere to secure the screen. Um, and so you should be worried about hot ball spillage on with something like this. And even this, I mean, this uses our part, but and as as creative as the design is, and this is just not safe, right? Um, this can come out at any point. It's not secured in any way, and so we don't. That's why we don't. You don't see us making these, right? You don't see us assembling these. We simply, took the concept further by designing the B0, right? So, so you have our airiest design here. The B1 is our number one as far as airflow. And the reason is because the column of air is going to be so large, right, that and it's the same size as what you would find in your bowl, right? So the 3/4 inch opening on this is going to hit the same area as your bowl. So it's 100% coverage at that point. Not to mention the extra conduction that's going on the bowl. Okay. So the coil coverage, and the stylish looks, and the airiness of this device make it our number one performer with flour. Okay. So I believe that's the message we want to get across about the safety concern. I mean, some competitors are really putting it out there that using screens are a safety concern, and it's because of devices like this. But I want to bring you some reassurance that we've gone to great lengths to ensure that that's not the issue with our devices. In any event, I hope that message came across clear and concise. If you have any questions, leave them on the comments. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.